mean, a memorable experience in mediation, I will never forget one of the first. There were just a huge group of condo mold cases that came through our office for some reason at some point in time. I think there was some report that was issued about, how dangerous condo mold is. And there were a number of cases, but one stuck in my mind because there was a young couple that had purchased a condo in a building, and the building had suffered some water damage, and they had suffered some health issues. More particularly, the young wife had suffered some health issues, and they came at odds with the condo association and with the insurance company for the condo association about common areas that were shared with common areas that affected their unit. And both sides were incredibly reasonable, and they were very passionate about presenting their clients' positions. But what I recall was that something medically had happened to the wife during the time that the case was in litigation that really devastated her. And it had nothing to do with the issue that they were arguing over. It had nothing to do with the condo mold. It was a separate health issue. And after caucusing back and forth between the two rooms, we reached a resolution, and she broke down and started to cry, and she said, I really feel so much relief that this is now going to be over. But it was really clear to me that the folks that were there on behalf of the condo association had no idea just how much she'd been through, and how much of it really wasn't related to anything that they did wrong. They really didn't do anything wrong. But when I went back into the room, and with her permission, I explained to the condo's attorney, to the trust's attorney, that she had gone through some really emotional, physical problems at the same time that they were fighting with the condo association. And he said, I'd really just like to apologize to her, because I didn't know that she was going through so much, and I didn't even really get a chance to talk with her. I talked with her attorney mostly, and so I brought them back into the room, as we often do at the end of a commercial mediation when it comes to resolution. The hope is to bring the parties back into the room, but he extended his hand and he said, I'm just so terribly sorry. I had no idea that you were going through what you were going through. And they actually hugged. And that's not a typical ending for a condo mold case, and it's not a typical ending for most commercial mediations, but it would kind of reaffirmed it in the biggest possible way to me, something that absolutely never would have happened in a courtroom. It's just not set up for that. It's not set up for that genuine human being to human being interaction that happens, and that's sort of the magic that is mediation. That's what you hope for. And it hasn't been repeated again in any of my cases, but I think about that moment, and that was probably going on 7 years ago now. I think about that moment when I think about mediation and what it can do. It really has the power to heal people and to make them feel better. And from what I've seen, practicing since 1993, courts can't do that.